Welcome back to Arkansas Bigfoot, everybody. I hope all of you are doing well today. I came back here in the woods because I had an epiphany. The redneck translation of that is I had a brain fart. I was thinking about those ground stick glyphs that we'd been finding, and something about it just told me to, go out and kind of map it and photograph it. And what I had in mind was I've got a compass, and I'm going to stand facing north of each one of these glyphs and take a picture of it and then transpose that onto a paper map. And if any of the glyphs look like they're pointing in a particular direction, then I'll put a little arrow next to it, and hopefully that might indicate some kind of a road map or some kind of a communication signpost, or I'm not sure what I'll find, if anything, but that was an idea that I had. But before we get started on this, if you've watched the last few videos, you'll know that we have been coming in from the far side of the woods the past few trips, trying to take a different route down into it. And today I came back our normal, regular way that comes past the pond area. And this thing that we're looking at in the screen, when we found it a few weeks ago, it looked like it was a ground nest. And today when I came back here looking at it, you can see that there's been a whole lot more activity, and looks like he's been doing a little home improvement on it. I'm going to get up closer and let you take a look at this. But it had been a big tree that was a deadfall, and before it looked like something was kind of bedding down into that cavity there, and it had a few limbs propped up around it that didn't look natural to the tree fall. And when I came back here today, this is what I found. Let me get around the brush so you can see the other sides of it. It's got all these limbs tied in and a bunch of pine needles and leaves and everything thrown up on top of it. It looks like there's some more pine needles and stuff that have been carried in and thrown around on the ground underneath. But there's the break where the tree had broken in a storm and fell over, and now this whole thing's going on with it. And all that area that's underneath the pine needles and leaves and stuff is probably about 9 foot long and 6 foot wide across. But we're about 50 yards from the edge of the pond where we had heard the rocks being thrown in at us the week ago. I thought that was pretty outstanding. I wanted you guys to see this. We'll keep you updated on it if anything else gets built up or develops on it. But as for these stick glyphs, some of them look like a letter Y. Some of them look like a A. Some of them look like a letter K. Some of them are just like look like the starting of a little Lincoln log cabin foundation. And there's just all different variations that we've been finding, and my hope was that if I could get a layout, all facing one direction, and see if there's, any type of pointing one way or another, maybe they would, reveal some kind of a pattern, some kind of a guideway. I don't know what I'm looking for exactly with it. I'm just curious. That was something that was kind of pressing on my mind the last day or two. Now, the ones that are leaning up against trees or made into the tree, I'm not sure how to go about that, but mainly my thought was about the ones that we've been finding on the ground. After all that build up and talk about it, I might be a little vexed to find some of them fairly quick for you. We've had several people that were curious and commented about the dowsing rods, and I just wanted to let you know that those are something that I make, and we sell those. So if anybody's interested in getting a pair, just leave me a comment and we can exchange information. When you saw on that last video that we put up about the Sasquatch Island, we had found some dung, and prior to that we had found some more hair tufts on that gifting tree, and we put all that in little baggies. I'm not sure what to do with it at the moment. Ideally, I'd like to have someone look at it for some kind of analysis, but I'm just not in a position to send that off right now. swear sometimes back here it feels like they're eavesdropping and they're one step ahead of you. If I say I want to look for this, this, or this, then it disappears, or if I want to find something else, then a different thing shows up. But it's like they're playing games. But if I don't find what I'm wanting to show you on this exact video, I will find them and take pictures of them, put the map together, and let you guys see all of that once I get it complete. I swear every time I walk back here, it's moved around again. Now we've got a old tire up here in the woods. I don't know if all the heavy rain that we had has knocked a bunch of these pine needles down on top of what I was looking for, but I think this was one of them right here that I'm coming up to. One of them that was a triangle that was laid out. Fish out my little compass here and we'll make sure I'm standing north. Red is north, so alright, so there's that one in the shape of a triangle or a. So northeast and west on that one, maybe, possibly, I don't know. We'll get more of them to mark down on the map and lay out how they're looking. Pretty quiet back here now. Could hear some birds and stuff up there by the pond, but it's like a morgue down in the woods right now. I know I probably use a lot of key words that sound fatalistic to people, but can't help it. It's in my nature. I'm a Scorpio. Dark and disturbing. It's just kind of natural breathing for me. I noticed after watching the very tail end of Sasquatch Island, like the last 10 seconds, that I was standing right by another stick glyph on the ground, and I was finishing out the video and didn't notice it till I posted it. Now, since I'm back here, let's eyeball this first gifting tree we've got here. So, rocks are knocked down, the pebbles are moved out of shape, the bag is gone, the apple's gone, limbs are kind of moved around. I can see the bling ring hiding behind the rocks back there. Yeah, I put that sandbox there in hopes that maybe if it was something small like a raccoon or whatever, it would leave a footprint in that sand, but we have yet to find one in it. Kind of looking at the tree to see if there's any other tufts of hair or anything else that I can spot. I'm bad about not wearing my glasses, so I should do better to remember that. Well, I didn't bring anything out here with me today but me and the camera, so hopefully they won't be too upset. I'll let Rachel come back here and bait these up the way she wants them. Well, I'm going to walk over to that spot that we left off at the last video and look at that glyph and mark it. If I can remember exactly where it was now. Well, if nothing else, this has definitely been an interesting process, seeing how all of this has come together. Don't get an opportunity very often to do stuff exactly like this. I don't know if that's a Bigfoot lumber yard or what's going on with that. I think that glyph I saw is right over here. Oh no, it was right here. Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Once you bring up a point and mention it and want to try to re-find it, it's gone. know that had to be the location that I saw it in, because it was right before we stepped over that little waterway draining down into the creek. They've moved it all on me again. It's starting to feel like the great Heyokha. Ha ha, watch the hairless monkey walk in circles. It's kind of what it feels like. Well, we're back here, so we might as well explore and see what steps out at us. Alright, I'm right here on the convergence of all those creeks and the point off of that island. And I can see that second big gifting tree off just slightly about 10 o'clock on the screen. And I've got the rubber boots on today, so we're going across. Sometimes I just feel like yelling out, hey, I'm back here. If you're here, throw a limb or something, or I'm going to have to give these people their money back. Probably shouldn't say things like that. I might get more than I bargained for. And something else that I failed to mention in that last video was when we got up here on this mound right in this general area, you could smell that danky, musky, skunky, butt cracky, kind of funky monkey thing going on. And it still smells that way back here today. if you guys can hear that knocking. This direction all that's coming from runs right back into the forestry. There's nothing else back there but trees, woods, and water. Well, there's another Bigfoot track. I just realized how I said that. Yeah, it was big and it was a foot. So there you are. Guys, I think we're going to cut this one off right here, and I'm going to wade across that mess and go deeper down and see what I can see. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please take a second to do that now. It doesn't cost anything. Only takes a click. Hit the like, share, and ring that bell if you want to keep up, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks.